Is it healthy to break societal norms?
Depends on what norms you want to break. Now, if you come from a traditional Indian society where respecting the elders, waking up early in the morning, performing some rituals, all those things are concerned, and you want to break those norms under a so-called advanced Western influence, then perhaps it's not healthy. But if you look at society today and see how things are panning out, then it might be a good idea to reevaluate and consider altering currently followed trends and norms. For example, maybe your grandfather's generation. A breakfast would be a home-cooked, healthy meal. It could be as simple as dal roti in a North Indian setup, or it could be idli sambar in a South Indian setup, or it could be poha in a Maharashtrian setup. Today, if you look at the breakfast, then it is bread, butter, cheese, burgers, chips, hash browns, all the things that the Western world has brought in. It could be black coffee, it could be tea, it could be a soft drink as part of the breakfast. Now, if you look at it from the nutrition point of view, all this is junk food. Today's society. If you look at your grandfather's breakfast, you would call it nutritious food. Glass of lassi, paratha. So yes, if this is the norm you want to break, good idea. Society today is disjointed. Children are left on their own, no proper guidance, exposed to a lot of audio visuals which are unhealthy, favorite heroes, smoking, drinking, using foul language, all available in the living room, on your social media outlets. You want to break that norm? Great, good idea. So, your question is open. Which society norms need to be defined under the category of unhealthy and healthy?
Like, suppose there's a kid, like usually kids absorb most of their developmental knowledge between the ages of 3 and 6. Now, when they're surrounded with this, and basically they think that this unhealthy eating or this unhealthy smoking, drinking is a societal norm. So, if he wants to break it afterwards, suppose he wants to get healthy afterwards, he'll be demotivated upon, he'll be looked up upon, he'll be probably shunned from the society. If they somewhere falter over there also, then they don't have anything to fall upon, and their mental strength and ego just falls down.
That's not entirely true. It depends on the strength of character of that individual. There's something called trailblazers. They are the ones who do things which others are either afraid of doing or are afraid of breaking the norms. So as a trailblazer, you have to be thinking out of the box, doing things out of the box, and be ready to face the consequences. I'll give you my example. I come from a community that is essentially non-vegetarian. Given the choice, we would eat non-vegetarian food 7 days a week, the community. Yeah. Some families in our community observe 1 day in a week as a worship day, and on that day they don't eat. So it could be a Monday or a Tuesday or a Saturday or whatever day that family decides. But by and large, they would eat 7 days a week non-vegetarian food. Now, I grew up in this environment. All the adults around me are eating non-vegetarian. Naturally, I was also fed non-vegetarian food, and I started relishing the dishes till my age of 33. So for a fairly long time, I was by birth a non-vegetarian. Then something triggered, and I decided to give up non-vegetarian food at my age of 33. And everybody looked down upon me from my community. That how can you be part of this community and not eat non-vegetarian? Because whenever I used to go for lunch or dinner invitations or parties, all food was non-vegetarian. So I had nothing to eat. And I remember in one engagement ceremony where I was invited, some relation, everything was non-vegetarian, including the salad. The salad also had shrimps in it. So I had to eat only curds, dahi. That was the only vegetarian stuff on that particular table. Everything else was non-vegetarian, and everybody is looking at me and saying, "What is this?" I said, "I don't eat non-veg." How dare you say this? You belong to our community. How can you not eat non-veg? This was 1989. Today is 2024. I have sustained happily. I don't have to. I still cook non-vegetarian food for the community members who visit my house and who are fond of non-vegetarian food. But I don't consume. And I found that I became healthier after quitting non-vegetarian food. I stuck to my guns. It doesn't matter what others say because your life is your decision. Your actions are based on your decision. Your actions affect your living patterns. Your living patterns are decided by you, not by an outsider. So have the courage. So it is the courage of your conviction. Once you are convinced, then have the courage to back your conviction. And that is what is missing. When you say people are afraid, they are afraid to courageously face their convictions. They are afraid of other people's opinions. They don't matter. In the long run, other people are not going to live your life. You are going to live your life. If your liver is going to get spoiled, other people are not going to come. You are going to face a spoiled liver, a spoiled kidney, a spoiled pancreas, a spoiled spleen, or a spoiled heart, or a spoiled brain. They are all yours. So it is in your favor if you back your convictions with courage. There is no harm in being a different person. What's wrong? As long as it works for you. You take a decision and it deteriorates your personality, physically, mentally, emotionally, then you took a wrong decision. But if your decision proves that it made a difference for the betterment of your life, I should stand in front of the mirror and say, did I do the right thing? And the mirror should reply, yes, son, you did the right thing. That's it. Nobody else matters. So have courage. The key to it is courage, which is missing. I need validation, I need endorsements. Validation and endorsement should come from the mirror and not from third parties.
Yeah. So on the good days, I can do this, but on the bad days, how do I cultivate the courage?
On the good days, you can do this, meaning you can stand by your decision and conviction.
Yeah, but on the bad days...
And how do you define a bad day?
If things have not gone according to plan that I have set off.
Okay. So your decision is being criticized, your near and dear ones are distancing because of whatever decision. So that you call as a bad day. So your question is, how do I face my bad days? Number one, why should there be distancing? From your side, let's say you're saying, I'm not distancing, but they are distancing because of certain stands or decisions that I have taken. Fair enough, that can happen. Criticism, objections, resistance are part and parcel of life. It happens in all walks of life, between people living in the same family and people living in the same society, people within your circle, people outside your circle. Resistance is common, natural. Now look at one peculiar human behavior. I give a lot of value to what my colleague is saying, my partner is saying, my parent is saying, my child is saying, my friend is saying. I'm paying a lot of attention to what these guys are saying to me about thoughts, actions, and decisions which I have taken, right? Do I have the same amount of attention to what I am saying? Because your actions and decisions are what you are saying. I have changed my lifestyle. Taking my example again, I have changed from being a non-vegetarian to being a vegetarian. I have changed my lifestyle in eating. My decision. I am saying I don't want to be a non-vegetarian, I want to be a vegetarian. Am I paying attention to myself? Now your question will be, how do I pay attention to myself? Stand in front of a mirror. You are looking at yourself. Just like you are looking at the person who is taking objection to you becoming a vegetarian and you are listening to his talk to yourself in the mirror and say, did I take the right decision? Was my decision healthy, nutritious? Face the answer. If your answer says, no, you took a wrong decision, then revise your decision. If your answer says, yes, I took the right decision, have the courage to face yourself first before you face others. Are you trying to convert others? That is not your objective. If you are trying to convert others and then you are facing resistance, then it's a separate subject. You have converted yourself and you are convinced about your conversion. So where is the question of you being afraid to face others? And where is the question of you distancing? It's the same thing. I like to wear modern clothes. I like to wear the latest trends. And you are comfortable with your traditional clothes. Should I distance myself because our choice of clothes are different? Then it is called imposition. Somebody is imposing his will on you, or you are imposing your will on somebody. I'm sorry, then that's not a healthy relationship. If there is an imposition in a relationship, then that's not a healthy relationship. Then good that you discovered that all these relationships are impositions. They are not relationships. A person who has a true relationship will not mind what you do. Don't you have close friends who belong to different religions? You do. So, that means you are not imposing your religion on your friend and your friend is not imposing his religion on you. I have a very close Christian friend. He participates in all my functions. Whenever he invites me for his functions, I go there. But we never impose our religions on each other. So be convinced about your decisions, be convinced about your actions, face yourself in the mirror. That is what people don't do. People face others more. People value others' opinion more. Value your opinion first. And the best practical, physical way of doing it is stand in front of the mirror and talk to yourself. The minute your mirror expresses a doubt about your decisions, then go back into introspection and rethink. But if your mirror answers you with conviction, jo kiya wo sahi kiya, forget the world. It is not selfish. It is your life. Value your life first, because nobody lives your life, you live your life.
That's what there's a thin line between selfishness and
It is not selfish. Selfish is when you deprive somebody for your benefit, that is selfish. You are not depriving anybody. It's your call. When do you call yourself selfish? उसका भी हक बनता है, मेरा भी हक बनता है, लेकिन उसका हक मैंने छीन लिया और मैंने मेरा बनाया. That is selfish. उसको deprive करके मैंने advantage लिया, that is selfish. उसका तो मैं कुछ नुकसान नहीं कर रहा हूँ. I am not even interfering in somebody's life. I am taking decisions about my life. Other people are commenting on it. So my courage is faltering in the presence of somebody's criticism. Why should my courage falter? Unless it is based on weak data or weak reality. Then my courage will falter. If my courage is on sound principles, there is no reason why my courage should falter. Stick by your courage and convictions.
And do the mirror exercise whenever.
That's the most practical thing to do, which people don't do. Face the mirror. The mirror is your friend or the mirror is your foe. If you're doing something wrong, your mirror will tell you, "Aap galat kar rahe ho."